everyone on LinkedIn. It's Annie Leib here with Living with Annietude pop-up live with a very special guest. Actually, there's two special guests. I have one to tell you about and one to bring on to the show. Mr. the wonderful, the handsome, the very intelligent, all these things we're going to talk about, Andre Young. Hello. How are you, my dear?
I'm doing so great. Thanks, Annie, for having me on, and you guys listening. I hope you're having an amazing day. Thank you.
He's like just a burst of sunshine and happiness. You're all the things that people say about me. You bring it. So I have to tell you, I don't know if I was going to be able to bring it today, but here is our other edition. If anyone is paying any attention to the fact that I was spending time with rescues, trying to get an addition to our family, we've added as Andre put it, a very big addition to the family. He's crawling away right now, but this is our big man over here. His name is Randall, and it's for Randall Cunningham from the Eagles. This is one of my favorite Eagles of all time. I prefer like old Jewish man names or something for dogs. I think that they make for the best dog names. So, we went with Randall. Last time I had a Franklin. So, that's how we roll. But I wanted to bring you on because you bring so much sunshine to the screen and so much goodness. Tell our audience about who you are, Andre.
Wow. Well, who I am is a lot.
Who are you? Go.
Well, I am Andre Young. I am a dad and husband, so love my wife, been married for a while. I'm divorced and remarried. So much to learn the second time around if you kept your eyes wide open and being willing to learn from the first time around. And being able to include that into a relationship has been great. I have 4 kids, so ages 21, 18, about to be 13 next week, and 18 months old. So that's
oh my gosh, that is crazy to go back to that when you've already been past all those stages, which PS you totally forget so that you'll be able to do it again.
I love it this time around because compared to what you knew and who you were at 22 compared to when I had my last child at 42, now I'm 44, is so much different. You enjoy each phase and you savor each phase so much more. You're more patient, you're more understanding. And because you see how fast things go. My daughter just turned 21. We went out for our first drink and a cigar together a couple of weeks ago. So to hold my baby, I'm like, I just want to savor every little thing. And you just look at it different. So I love it.
Now, do you think that everybody has that? Or do you think that do you think most people evolve and that happens? And if we were to do what we did at 30 over again or 20 over again at 40, that this would sort of happen with everybody? Or do you think it's just dependent on the person? Like, did you go through an experience that made you sort of become more involved?
My 2 answers to that is, one, change is inevitable. It's going to happen to all of us, but growth is a choice.
That's a quote. We can end the show right now. Change is inevitable, but growth is a choice.
Growth is a choice. I'm sure we can all, you guys listening, I'm sure you could think of people who you know right now who are doing the same, thinking the same, and behaving the same that they were when they were 20 or when you were hanging out as teenagers. You may have friends like that. You're friends because you've been friends. But if you met them right now, you're like, I don't do that stuff anymore. So we're all going to go through changes in our lives and experiences. But growth is a choice. And through every great experience I've had, through every negative experience I've had, and I'm thankful for my mess ups, my mistakes, those pitfalls, because it's gotten me where I am today and where you could be as long as we choose, like I said, to keep our eyes wide open. And we have to say, hey, look, what did I do great there?
Yeah.
What did I do bad and what do I need to improve? And when you can get answers to those questions and take personal leadership, personal responsibility instead of blaming other people.
Yes.
My kids are dating, Annie, and I'm like, listen, you sit down with someone and they start off with what their ex did or the company did or the job did, run.
They're blamers.
Run.
They're not taking responsibility for their contribution.
Right. They're not over it. They haven't accepted responsibility, and soon you'll be on that list and can never be, never be right either.
Yeah,
So
that's such good advice. That's such good advice. I mean, it's amazing. I'm sure it was hard to have children at that age, but you get to be such a young parent with young adults now, and that's amazing. That's really an incredible, I'm sure, experience, because like at our age, and I'm the same age as you, I'm 42. I mean, you got a little bit on me, but I still feel like a lot of times, like, I mean, I've grown a ton, and I've evolved for sure, but I don't feel like, I don't feel like I'm old. I still feel like I could go out like a 25-year-old, so I just do things a little bit smarter this time around.
Exactly.
Exactly. It's amazing what it would be. And I won't have that because my kids are 9 and 11 now, but to have the ages that you have at our age is pretty incredible because they're adults and you're adults.
Well, it is fun. It's sad at the same time though, because like they're my babies. I love them. I want to hang out, but you got to be willing to let go. It's just the same thing when I train and teach and do speaking engagements for organizations. I call it like a leader's white knuckle. Like you got to white knuckle it a while because they're supposed to leave you. They're supposed to branch out to their friends. Yeah. I don't care how much you teach them. They got to make some mistakes on their own, and you got to white knuckle it and hope they don't just mess up too much. And the same way with leaders in companies, you got to let your people and give them power to succeed or fail without you, but you're always there to catch and help and support and coach.
That is such an amazing, incredible analogy and point, because I feel like it's a control thing. So it's control both with parenting and with being a leader. Yeah. That when you're a true leader, you can turn over the reins a little bit and allow, and you lead by example. And that's the same thing as a parent. You lead by example, and you see them making mistakes, and it probably is so frustrating, but you're supposed to let them make them, right? Because
the alternative is this. You either raise or create people in your home or in your office or on your team that are good at taking orders. However, if you disappear, they now don't know what to do because they're so conditioned to be an order taker that they're not thinking outside the box. They're scared to make a decision. They're not trusting themselves. And that's a manager managing and stifling people instead of a leader leading and coaching people.
Yeah, we're speaking the same language for sure. I mean, you're so right. And I think that that's really hard for people to do. And that is the big differentiator between a manager and a leader for sure. Somebody who has the remote control and is moving things around and making all the decisions. And it really stifles the people that are growing and trying to develop.
Absolutely.
Whereas in my life, when I've been led versus managed, I'm so much happier, so much more committed to the job, and much more successful because I'm empowered.
And as leaders, it can be hard because you've been there. You know the answer. You could do it quickly, or you wouldn't do it your way. So whether it's in your home or at work, if you're doing this, why are you doing this? What are you getting out of it? Do you want to be in control? Do you need to be in control? And then it's like, well, I want my people make decisions up to this point. After this point, please check with me. So now people know they got the latitude to do this, but when they need to check in, they can. And if we're having our regular one-on-ones, whether it's with our kids, whether it's with a significant other, whether it's with your employees and your people, when you're having these regular one-on-one check-ins, and I talk about how to do it, but these things don't come up as a surprise. The mistakes don't be that bad. So it's committing as a leader to, for you and for them. So I love it. I also have to share, you having a new addition to your family. I have an old addition. We have a pet pig. So I'm a father of a pet pig as well.
Oh my God. We can't see him, can we? Can we see him?
No, he's upstairs.
Oh. Is he what color? Is he pinkish or is he black?
He's pink. All pink.
Oh my God. Because I looked at somebody that had a pet pig, and it was a big, like black-haired pig. Mm-hmm. So it was like it was a little strange. So okay, so how long have you had this pig?
He's 3.
And pigs are really smart and like sweet animals.
I don't know about so much sweet. He won't bite me, so.
Like you. So how did that happen? Wait, I have to say hi to somebody. Hi, G. What's going on? Sup, AFC says to me. F is for a bad word. It means Annie Bleep and Cohen. So, he said, don't end the show. He's mad at me because I have this live with StreamYard thing above my head. and I can't get it off no matter what I do, even though I'm a paid StreamYard client. So I'm just ignore it. I'm gonna sit back here so he can see my whole face. Okay, so tell me I wanted to ask about your journey, but tell me about the pig first.
Well, my sons wanted a dog, and I knew that I was going to take over all of the dog duties, and I didn't want to do that. And my wife said, "Well, look, very short. Pigs are hypoallergenic. They're smart. They're potty trainable." I said, "All right, let's do it. If we don't do it now, we're not going to do it." So we did it. It's been great. He's our little buddy. He watches the football games with me, and we chill.
My God.
So he's a part of the fam.
Now, do you walk a pig?
No, he does, he's in the house. He walks around. He does, he's in the house. He's potty trained. So he's cool.
Oh my God, that's amazing. So go back and tell me a little bit about how you're very evolved and you're very knowledgeable. You speak my exact language. We're so aligned, and that's what we talked about the first time we met. But tell me how this started, because I don't think you just popped out this way. So you became this somehow. So tell me a little bit about that.
Well, I've had the pain and the privilege of being on the both sides of a lot of things. So I played sports, college, and very, very tiny professional for arena football. And I've been on the both sides of that, where you're just so overly focused on one thing that nothing else matters. And then when that one thing drops, you're like, okay, well, who am I? Got married young, didn't really know myself. And then you typically marry another young person that doesn't know themselves, and then you struggle going through the changes of relationships. Became a mental health therapist. I love that. I thought I'd do that job forever. But obviously I did not. I did it for 19 years though. Within that 19 years, I did go through a divorce, and that the divorce is something that really sparked all of this, because it was the signature moment in my life where I had all of the things that people would deem successful.
Speaking my language again.
Yeah, I had the freshly built house, the $50,000 car, the 2.5 kids, literally the job, the briefcase. And because I had all of this stuff, my ego was about this big. And I tell people all the time, be mindful not to let your evolution elevate your ego.
Right.
And one day I remember just stopping cold, and I'll fast forward through the story, and I'm like, oh my goodness, is this it? And I was so stuck, why do I feel this way? Fast forward through a divorce, I really chose to keep my eyes wide open going through it. What did I do great? What did I do bad? And what did I, need to improve? Because I used to say, hey, I was a good husband, but I was a great father. And I'm like, well, you can't be a great father if you're not being a good husband, So through that, I realized there's a lot of other people out there that are going through things that have nowhere good to go and no one good to do it with, particularly men. So I started an organization at that time, and it just was in my living room, and it just kept growing. Women wanted it, then colleges wanted it, and it was just growing and growing. And then I had staff, and it was all about personal growth, personal leadership, living your best life. However, the business started to die. Why did it start to die? It's not because people didn't like it. It's because I was competing with people's busy. Hard to get them to come out after their butt has hit the couch, and that was 7:30 at night. People come for reasons and seasons. When that season was over, okay, I'm good. So now I want to make an impact, but all I'm doing is marketing, and everybody's a potential customer. And I just this is going to die if I don't evolve. Yeah. So I said, well, where's my message good at? And it needs to be where people already are. They're at work, they're at school, and they're on their phones. My message has to be at their job, at their school, and on their phones. And making that transition has just allowed this evolution. But the funny thing is, when I went to companies and I said, I really want to be big on work-life harmony. I really want to be big on personal growth for your people. They all thought it was a great idea, but a lot of people didn't want to pay for it.
Right. It's not important enough to pay for, right? Well,
it's important, but they can meet their bottom line revenue-wise without it.
They don't realize how much that can be increased. Right. I'm totally on your page. It's very important.
Very important. So what I understood at that moment in those meetings, I said, oh my goodness, you want leadership. But I don't do leadership. And I was perplexed, like, oh, I don't do leadership. I'm not, there's enough people out there doing it, until I went back and I looked at every video that I did up until that point. I looked at what I was already writing once a week and things, and it was already talking about leadership. I just hadn't said the word leadership. Right. And when I started adding the word and then allowing that to evolve, and now what my business is today, going in and really helping enhance leadership. And I split it up into two parts. One, personal leadership. Mm-hmm. So how do we show up to our work, to our relationships and our lives in a way that makes people want to follow you because they enjoy and respect how you are and who you are? Mm. People will forgive more about your mistakes and follow you further when they respect how you are and who you are.
Absolutely.
Yep. I'm sure I've had that boss where I only did what they said because they had their title. And if they didn't have that title, it'd be a whole different conversation.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. You don't align with their core values. You don't align with what they're saying and doing. They're not leading by example, like we started the conversation talking about.
Right. And when that's different, they can say something you don't agree with, but you believe in them. And although they might not even believe in it, you'll follow them anyway. You know, so personal leadership, but then the daily and effective leadership skills it takes to run a team, lead a team, not manage a team, but lead a team and an organization. And then the work-life harmony. So all three of those go together when you want to live your best life and lead your people to leading theirs professionally and personally. So that's a journey.
That's an incredible journey. Michael, of course, has said, always learning is the key to everything, continuous evolution and growth. This is so powerful. Fantastic conversation. Thanks, Mike. Gabe said it helps develop a culture. Love this, Andre. So you got my fans are becoming your fans.
Awesome.
I love what you're talking about. How do you figure out who you talk to about this? Is it just referral based? Or are they coming to you? Are you going out looking for them? Or how do you get a team to know they need you? Which I think everyone does.
Yeah. Well, thank you. That's been great. At first I was, posting on social media and things like that. And, I had to figure out if you're in a business, if you're an entrepreneur, you got to find out who you're serving. So I used to think naively that my stuff was for everyone, and it's not. It's not. And, I just talked to a friend of mine, earlier today. I said, I had to get out of the habit of asking people for their money, but also was servicing people that already had it, that was willing to give it where the people already were. So I really got big on LinkedIn and decided just to give my stuff away. Give it away. And I have a format 5 days a week of stuff that I'm doing, whether it's the thought of the week video on a Monday, a blog on a Thursday, a quote, the podcast. And I just gave it away. And I connect often with people daily. Yeah. So being able to do that and then being able to reach out and say, hey, would you mind having a conversation? Now, as I've done this over the years, word of mouth. Sure. So you get the referrals. Hey, I heard Andre speak here, or he was with our company. You got to talk with him. So I get those emails. I get those calls. Then, whether it's on Facebook or not Facebook, but LinkedIn, and it's, hey, I hear you speak. I love your message. And then we could connect. So there's a multitude of ways, but the best way is to give your stuff away and have something great for them to receive that meets their deepest need. Mm-hmm. When I talk with an organization or a person, whether it's, coaching or at the company for training, I never lead with my menu. How many people on LinkedIn do you hear or on social media and the first point of contact you had with them was them selling you something?
There's controversy around this, Andre. I want to hear what you obviously I know your ultimate opinion about it, not to do that. But then there's this school of thought, and I don't know exactly where I stand with this. I'm sort of thinking out loud as I talk to you. But there's this school of thought that you also don't want to waste people's time. Mm. So you want to get your who you are right out, and it sometimes seems like a pitch.
Yeah.
So where do you stand when it comes to how to handle marketing yourself, but also building that meaningful relationship? Sure.
It's a great question, and I'm so glad you asked, because this is just my belief. There's other philosophies out there that work. This is what works for me. I don't believe in selling first. And I had a friend of mine say this years ago, and it rings in my head every single day. He said, if you build your value higher than your customer's stack of money, you'll always be just fine. Mm. Therefore, they can't know your true value in a one-off pitch.
Right.
So my process is simple, and I'll share it on LinkedIn. And now I'm about to get into the automated part. But anybody that comes and takes over my automation has to be like me, has to sound like me. It has to be a part of my team. I want it to be human. So my first thing is post your video, post your blog, post whatever it is, and give it out to everyone. Okay. Then you connect with people who you believe would want to receive it, because your thing is not for everybody. Everybody is not your target market. So for me, it's directors of human resources, SVPs, COOs, CEOs, directors of human resources, all of those people. So I post my video. They see it, great. I then send out, hey, great connecting with you. Yeah, I hope you enjoy my page on ... Mm-hmm. Here's a video that you might enjoy with the link. I look forward to staying in contact.
Right.
And so I haven't sold you anything. I truly, from the bottom of my heart, want to be connected and say hi to you. And I'm giving you something of value.
Yeah.
Then I continue the post. So if you liked it, I want to give you a chance to digest what you consumed. So about a month later, then I can reach back out and say, hey, hi, Annie, how you doing? I hope you've been enjoying my page. I would love to connect with someone like you. By the way, here's another video. Would you be interested? I want it to be personal. I don't want it to feel fake. I do mean everything that I say. And I'm giving you multiple points of value before we spoke. Now it's my job to stay consistent. Because when you speak to me, am I as consistent as I was on those videos that you liked? Now we can talk about doing something. Now, I know that's time consuming for some. However,
I'm just going to say to you, the thread that is interwoven in everything you're saying is that you have a long-term strategy. You're not about the wham bam. It's about the long-term. You're thinking the overarching vision. And when you think like that and you see the big picture, you're telling me it pays off. So it seems like, I mean, you're saying this from experience. So obviously it works. I'm on your team. I'm in that school of thought. I agree with that. It's just people really are impatient. People as a people, we are impatient. We want everything yesterday. Right. So when you are selling something, and everybody is, we're all on here doing something. Right. It's like you need to know the value that you have. Like Gabe just said, know your value, but also understand that building meaningful connection and relationships will help you down the line. But you have to see the big picture.
And it is. And it's then understanding, because I did it the opposite way, where, starting off, I did have my videos and things, but I would put out, hey, this is what I do, or here this is, and click this. No one ever clicked that to just give me money without knowing me. Like, do you know how great your product has to be and what it has to be? Like, I haven't seen it happen. Has it happened to other people? Absolutely. If Nike puts something out like that, you buy it because you know them.
Right.
You trust it. You have it already. So it's easy to buy that. When it's you and your thing and people don't know you, what is the ratio of you getting a click to? And then how do you keep that? So
unless you get TikTok famous, then it's like, you got millions and millions. These kids,
even with TikTok is value. You are entertaining somebody. You already put it out there. You didn't go just send the link of, hey, this is what I do.
Pay me money. Yeah, no, you're right.
It's right there. You've already put that value. So show your value. Show your value. More people have said to me, I love your passion, or I've been following you for a while. And so now they do it. If I would just put out, imagine this, everything that you've seen and what you enjoy. Imagine if it was just a picture of me saying, I do leadership training and work-life harmony. Click it and buy it.
Right. Well, Andre, there might be some women that do that for you. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. Okay, there might be some, but that aside, most people, I would say too. Well, where's he coming from? What's he? What does that even? What's work? What who's he?
Who's this?
So, consistency, persistence. Mike says you have to invest time, energy, and focus while allowing with patients to build the long-term vision of all aspects of life and impact. It's true. I mean, it's like, a guy coming up to me all of a sudden and being like, here I am, marry me. It's like that would never happen, right?
Exactly.
Right. I mean, so, we have to put in the same time, energy, and investment in all relationships in order to sell people.
And the biggest question is, what do you want most, or what would you like most bringing someone like myself into your organization for training? What do you want to get out of working with someone like me? And then we got to shut up and listen. We're so busy telling them why it's good, but we have 1,000 reasons why it's good and why we think it's a great idea. But if it's not meeting their deepest need, you're just talking.
Right. You're just talking.
Ask the question, shut up and listen. And then if it matches what you have, great. If it doesn't, can you create it? And if it doesn't, then you refer them and be honest, and people will respect that.
So aren't you here to promote something too? Am I allowed to talk about this? Am I allowed to say this? Okay. Because we're already at 5 until 2. So tell me what you're promoting, because I don't want to miss that.
Oh, well, 2 things. My newest book, 7 Ways to Lead, just launched this previous Tuesday, like this past Tuesday. It was so exciting.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's been a journey. I love writing books. This is my 3rd book. And it takes people through the process of evolving their life professionally and personally. One of my favorite chapters in there is self-care and the 5 points of our day, and how work-life harmony is now more important than it's ever been, with the smashing of our roles while we're all working from home and COVID and things like that. But also the Leader 7, the 7 languages that your people need to hear, want to hear, and benefit most hearing from leadership. We got to be able to speak all 7. But each of your people has a top 1 or 2. And when you know it, you're constantly leading with their motivation. It's a game changer.
Where can people get this book? Where is it? On Amazon? Is it
on Amazon, anywhere that
7 Ways to Lead, right? 7 Ways to Lead. Okay.
So Amazon, anywhere you get books, you can visit my website, youevolvingnow.com. So it's YOU evolvingnow.com. Everything is there. There's other videos and my free app. Download it.
Put it in the comments. That's amazing. That sounds like something I want to read like tonight. I mean, that sounds awesome. That sounds so great. And you're just so incredibly motivating and inspirational to me. And what I love about what you said, and I'll wrap up in a minute, but what I love about everything that you said, first of all, we're so aligned and we speak the same lingo. But what I love is your authenticity throughout. And I speak about authenticity. I do tons of pop-ups and I'm on live all the time. And I talk a lot about authenticity and how important it is, because I think that word gets thrown around as much as empathy. People just like throw that stuff around and they don't really know what it means. Right. And when you speak, I can feel how much you feel what you're saying and how much passion you have in what you do. And I appreciate that. I really, really appreciate that. So thank you.
Thank you. Like I said, I've been on both sides of a lot. I've been the world's greatest employee. I've been the worst. I've been a manager. I've been a leader. And it's so important that we evolve and then help other people, because we don't want to be the one that's ruining other people's days and lives and experiences that don't want to get out of bed because of you. Exactly. So, whether it's your wife, your husband, your kids, or your employees,
Oh man, you got it down for sure. You must be a great husband. You have a lucky family and a great father. You have a very lucky family. And then
I do my best, and I'm lucky. Like, they're awesome too.
And your pig. Wait, someone did ask who Pig's favorite football team is.
The Steelers. Pittsburgh Steelers.
I can't get mad. I can't hate on the Steelers. I mean, you're talking AFC. It's not even in comparison. So, this year I got nothing to talk about with my Eagles. So I'm just going to leave it at that. But I am so happy that you came on today, and I'm definitely going to look up your book as soon as we get off. I'm thrilled to look into this. I love books like this, very motivating, and please stay in touch with me. What if people want to find you? Where do they go? They go to youevolvingnow.com, which I put in the comments.
Yep. LinkedIn at You Evolving Now, Facebook, You Evolving Now, or Andre Young. So, I'm there. connect, you're working with an organization or anything, love to do a Zoom call with you. If you're interested in a consult or even, one-on-one growth sessions, love to talk, love to meet.
Awesome. Thank you so much for being here. I'm going to hit end, but stay there for 1 sec.
Sure.
Okay, guys, everybody, peace out. Have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your afternoon.